This form is idiotic. It is stupid, and you know it. So what do you do if you don't understand something? Because some of these questions are quite difficult. We don't know what they're trying to get. I'm Thomas Hulbert. Here's the War Room. Let's get down to business.
War Room, baby, yeah!
It's a place for winners. In this episode, we're going to talk about some really weird thing that schools want. It's called the online application. Wow. The online application is the very formal, very boring part of an application. You've done your essays, you've got a killer CV, you're working on your recommendations, it's looking good, you're polishing your interview skills, you're getting ready, and now there's this thing called the online application. The online application is buried deep inside the application form on the website. And it has a lot of stuff on it that sounds a lot like your CV. And so naturally you're saying, what's the difference between the online application and my CV? Why do I have to bother? Why do both? There is a difference between your CV and the online application. Your CV is a personal portrait that you yourself create. It's your personal passport about your career and who you are and where you're going. The online application is a little bit more formal, and we might even say it's more like a template in order for the school to compare you to other candidates according to criteria that they value. So all the criteria are the same. Your name, your age, where you went to school, all these things, you fill it out. Just fill it out. Some schools have very simple online applications, very easy to fill out. Others have more complicated online applications. For example, Harvard and Stanford have fairly complex online applications that ask job by job, position by position, what you did and what your responsibilities were and the highlights of those positions. So be prepared. Should I just cut and paste from my CV into this place? You could, but it's always best to be original if you can. Be fresh. Very often these forms have a word limit, or there's a little box that you have to put the information in that has a limited size. So it forces you to arrange your thoughts differently. This is critical. This is another way, a test, if you will, to show how you manage dealing with obstacles. Please give it your best. Show it your best shot. Some online applications can be quite fun. They have funny questions. Schools will ask you stuff about, what's your favorite food, or what movies do you like. That can be easy. That can be revealing. The online application often has boxes and spaces for your awards, your languages, and your test scores. That means you can put them in your online application instead of on your CV. That's right. So you can find a balance between your CV and the online application. You want to put your career information on your CV, that's your career passport, but in the online application, you want to put stuff that they ask for. For example, did you win awards in university? Tell us what awards did you win a scholarship? Did you get a red diploma? Guess what? Most schools know what a red diploma is. That's right, because people with red diplomas have been applying to these great schools for more than 25 years. So don't worry about it, man. Just do it. All right? They're going to know what it is. If you got a red diploma, you're awesome. Did you win a Patanin scholarship? Guess what? They know what it is. It's a big deal. So put it in there. All right? Do it. Were you a captain of the swim team? Were you a founder of the school pool shark club? Did you make money as a photographer on the side? That could go in there. Separate your hobbies from your awards. Say stuff. If they have a special place, you can talk about entrepreneurship. Every form is different. You have to work it out with each form. It's not so hard, but you're going to have to take the time to do it. One critical point of an online application will be the part where the school says, is there anything else you want to tell us? And most candidates look at this and they say, oh, I should write another essay in this little box. Actually, you shouldn't. Because that little excuse box is not really for an essay. And it might even say, please don't write an essay here. It's going to say, is there anything else we should know that will help us evaluate your candidacy? Here's where you say stuff that could be a deal breaker. For example, I'm blind. If you're not blind, but let's say you did not so good on the GMAT, but you still want to apply, you got a 650 on the GMAT, but you still want to apply. I don't know why you would do this, but you might want to do this. You were going to say, well, I got a 650 on the GMAT, please be nice to me. No, you don't ask a school to forgive you or to be understanding, because schools are not understanding. Schools don't care. If you got a 650 on the GMAT, you're 100 points below the average. You're really low. You're doing terrible. So don't just say, please forgive me, I didn't do so well on the GMAT. Show us why they should not care so much about your GMAT. For example, maybe you got a low verbal score on the GMAT, but you got a very high score on your TOEFL. You did well on the TOEFL, but not on the GMAT. Or, for example, you're a translator. So your job is to translate and you have very good English anyway, you just don't take tests well. Or you work for an international company, a consultancy, a bank, some other kind of construction company. Hey, you work with clients and you speak English all day long. Hey, that sounds pretty good. You didn't get a good verbal score on your GMAT? Well, things happen. Maybe people don't test well. That is a good way to explain in that little space on the online application what went wrong. Of course, it's better to take the test again. Should I take the test again? Yeah, but they'll see that I got a bad score at first. Of course they will. But if you got a bad score, or for example, a 650, and then you got a 700 and then a 730, that shows progress. That shows someone who's making an effort over time to do better. That might look better than getting a high score the first time. One final thing we should talk about the online application. You're looking at this thing and you're saying, this is crazy. This doesn't make any sense. Guess what? You're right. This form is idiotic. It is stupid, and you know it. What does that mean? It means the schools are not necessarily the most organized, not necessarily the best at providing materials that are going to work to present your profile. So what do you do if you don't understand something? Because some of these questions are quite difficult. We don't know what they're trying to get. Call the school. Ask them. What? Yes, that's right. Some people say, if I call the school, they will never let me in the school. They'll know that I'm a fraud. Actually, no. That's not true at all. If you call the school, it's because you care. It's because you've got courage and you're trying to get the information. And you know, some of these places, they know that their online forms are not so clear. So if you call and say, hey, what does this line mean on line 42? It says they want my mother's college degree. Well, my mother doesn't have a college degree. Oh, it doesn't matter? Okay, great. You called, you got the information, it worked. Some schools, like Harvard, they respond really quick. They're very attentive to their applicants. Other schools, it takes some more time because there's a lot of applicants. Send an email, make a call, don't worry. Get the information you need to go ahead, to press ahead. Don't worry, you're not going to look bad or stupid for calling the school to get a little extra information to understand how to fill out this form. All right, guys? Up next, we're going to talk about Spravkas. Subscribe to Fless. Why? Because you need it. That's why.